foreign governments were running secret police stations inside the United States? What if these stations weren't just ordinary offices, but outposts used to spy on, harass, and intimidate people right on American soil? It sounds like a plot from a Cold War-era thriller, but according to reports, it's already happening. This is the Chinese Police Station Conspiracy, a global network of covert law enforcement hubs operated by the Chinese Communist Party. And if the theories are true, it means the Chinese government has been running illegal surveillance operations inside the US for years, undetected. In late 2022, a report from the human rights organization Safeguard Defenders uncovered something shocking. At least 100 covert Chinese police stations operating in over 50 countries. These weren't officially recognized diplomatic offices or consulates. They were unregistered, unauthorized, and completely illegal. According to the report, these police stations were disguised as service centers or cultural organizations, claiming to help Chinese nationals with basic paperwork, things like renewing driver's licenses or processing documents for citizens abroad. But behind the scenes, something far more sinister was happening. These stations were allegedly being used by the Fuzhou Public Security Bureau, a regional Chinese police force, to track, threaten, and intimidate Chinese dissidents living overseas. Among the locations exposed in the report, New York City. That's right, China was running an illegal police station in the heart of Manhattan. In April 2023, U.S. federal agents raided a building in New York's Chinatown, arresting two men, Harry Lu Jianwang and Chen Jinping, on charges of conspiring to act as Chinese government agents. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, Lu and Chen had been secretly operating a Chinese police outpost at 107 East Broadway under the direction of the Chinese Communist Party. Their job? Spying on dissidents living in the U.S., harassing and pressuring activists who spoke out against the Chinese government, forcing people to return to China under the threat of retaliation. One of their victims was a Chinese-American activist who opposed the Communist Party. Court documents revealed that Lu helped Chinese officials track down this individual in California. Once located, they harassed the person's family back in China, trying to force them into returning. If true, this means the Chinese government wasn't just monitoring critics in the US, they were actively trying to coerce them into silence. FBI Director Christopher Wray later confirmed that these types of illegal outposts are a clear violation of US sovereignty, and that they should not exist. But this raises a disturbing question. How many more of these police stations are still operating? The New York case was shocking, but the problem wasn't just in the United States. In Canada, 3 suspected Chinese police stations were discovered in Toronto and Vancouver, operating under the same pretense of helping Chinese nationals with paperwork. In the UK, another station was uncovered in London, leading to an official investigation by British authorities. In Spain and the Netherlands, local governments ordered immediate shutdowns of suspected Chinese police outposts. And in Italy, reports surfaced that Chinese officials were working alongside local police, a partnership that had existed for years without the public knowing. This isn't just a US problem. This is a global surveillance operation. So why would China go to such extreme lengths to operate secret police stations overseas? The Chinese Communist Party has a long history of using covert tactics to suppress opposition. One of the biggest strategies they use is called Operation Fox Hunt. Under this program, the Chinese government tracks down Chinese nationals who have fled the country, often business people, journalists, or political activists, and forces them to return, sometimes through kidnapping or blackmail. The FBI has been tracking multiple cases of fox hunt operations happening inside the United States. According to official reports, Chinese agents have used tactics like threatening dissidents' family members in China, hiring private investigators to stalk individuals in the US, spreading false rumors online to destroy their reputations, luring them into fake meetings to kidnap them. The illegal police stations fit perfectly into this strategy. They allow Chinese authorities to monitor people in real time, keeping track of political dissidents, former government officials, and even regular citizens who simply criticize the Communist Party. The chilling part? Many of the victims targeted by Fox Hunt have disappeared. Some who were pressured into returning to China were never heard from again. Others ended up in detention camps, forced labor programs, or prison cells. One of the biggest mysteries surrounding this conspiracy is how long these stations have existed. Some believe the New York station wasn't the first. There are reports of similar facilities being active as early as 2016, meaning this network could have been operating for nearly a decade before anyone noticed. If the US only discovered one of these stations in 2023, how many more are still out there? And if foreign governments have already set up secret police networks in major cities, what else is happening that we don't know about? The idea that a foreign country could run an illegal police station inside the United States should be impossible. And yet, it happened, not just in the US, but in Canada, the UK, Australia, Spain, and many other countries. The Chinese Communist Party was able to set up an entire surveillance network, intimidate citizens, and threaten families without being stopped for years. So what does that say about how much control they actually have? And if China was able to pull this off, what else are they doing right now that we haven't discovered yet?